Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Hello, Rachel. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Isaac, Marissa, Gabriel. So nice to see you all today. Cheryl, Adrienne.
I love it. We have some cameras on. That's so awesome.
We're going to wait a little while. So if you guys want to vibe with us, feel free to vibe with us.
We are.
What do you think, mentors?
I agree.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Alright, I'll share my screen.
Happy Wednesday, itself.
Wednesday.
So nice for you to join us today.
Okay, can y'all see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome, awesome. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Peer Mentor Experience Seminar. My name is Gustavo Marquez. I'm one of the peer mentors here for the FYE program. I'm also joined by two other great mentors.
Hi, everybody. My name is Victoria Valdez. I am also a FYE peer mentor.
Hello, I'm Ellie. I am also a peer mentor. We're so excited to have you guys today. All right, let's get on with it.
So today we're going to be covering a couple things. You're going to get to learn a little bit about us as individuals, and then what we do as peer mentors, our experience through the program, and you know, kind of what we've gone through and what we've seen. And then we're going to talk about why someone or you should even become one. So let's get started.
Yeah, so first of all, we're just going to talk a little bit about ourselves so we can get to know each other a little bit better, starting off with Victoria.
All right, so just to reintroduce myself, hi, I am Victoria. I'm a peer mentor with FYE. I graduated actually in 2013, so I would what I consider an old lady. I graduated from a hybrid school in Claremont, so my class was a class of 15 people. So my reunion is probably going to be very small. I joined Southwestern College in 2012 because of therapy. And I was in the FYE program. So between FYE and therapy, I don't know if I would have been able to get through my first year if it weren't for, you know, the structure and the assistance and them just being there. Having FYE helped me stay stable when a lot of stuff in life wasn't letting me have that. So it was super helpful. I came with the goal, and I still have that goal of learning ASL and getting certified so that way I can be an interpreter. I chose the choice of major in communications purely because it looks good for an interpreter to have. So if it, you know, helps me in my field and where I want to go, I'm going to take advantage of it. I was constantly urged to go into the medical field. Not my cup of tea. No, thank you. I'll help people, but I won't have anything to do with needles. I love anything artistic. I love trying new things, obviously within reason, not going skydiving. I like trying new foods and visiting places. And I'm always looking for places to travel and good restaurants to try. So if any recommendations, feel free to let me know. And I love music, everything pretty much except rap. A lot of rap, but everything else is a go. I'm going to pass it over to Gus.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. Welcome again. My name is Gustavo Marquez. I do go by Gus here in the FY program. I myself have been here and been a peer mentor since 2019. So I have been here for quite a while. I'm about to finish off my third year as a peer mentor. Every year has always been something different. There's always a different challenge, but I could truly say that I love my job with all my heart. Before I was a peer mentor, I was actually an FYE student. So I have been with the FYE program for a good 4 years now. Time flies. Time flies when you're having fun, right? I graduated from a high school about 2 hours east from here. It's called Imperial High School. It was in Imperial County, very small city. We had one elementary school, one middle school, one high school. I grew up with the same people from K to 12. So that's all I knew. And then once I left Imperial Valley and came up to San Diego, I had no idea what I was doing. I was scared. Just entering Southwestern College was a scary time for me. I had no idea you had to meet a counselor, how the transfer process works, how classes works. I just thought I'm gonna enter, take a couple classes, and then go from there. Luckily, I went to an orientation. FYE was there. The way I like to call it is they picked me up and they took care of me ever since then. I finished off my first year strong at Southwestern. I finished off my second year even stronger. I was able to graduate class of 2020 with my associates in liberal arts, social and behavioral sciences. And with that, I was able to transfer. At the moment, I am attending San Diego State University. My major is social science. at SDSU as well. I could truly say that if it wasn't for the FYE program, if it wasn't for the support that I was given throughout my first year, I don't think I would be in the place that I am today. So I like to give a lot of thanks to FYE for that. I have met a lot of great people, a lot of great students, a lot of great friends that I consider family now. My goal is to receive a master's in either counseling or higher education work, and then work in a community college as a counselor, or even in student services, just the way I am right now. I truly enjoy working with students, and I've always had a passion for education. So that is where I feel like my purpose is in life. Some of my hobbies include hanging out with my friends. I'm a big people person. I love hanging out with friends. If I could hang out with friends every day, I would. Also hanging out with my family, just being with my family is great. I have a younger brother. I have my mom with me here in San Diego, so I truly enjoy hanging out with them. Taking random trips and adventures. I'm that type of person that could be very spontaneous at any moment. My friend could call me and say, hey, let's go to LA tomorrow. And I'm like, what's up there? Nothing, but let's go. That's just the type of person I am, and I truly enjoy it. So with that, I'm gonna pass it on to Ellie.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to top that one, guys. I'm like, whoa. No, but yeah, my name is Elizabeth, but I go by Ellie. And I have been a peer mentor since 2021. So about to be officially a year of being a mentor, and it has been awesome to say the least. Um, like Gus, I was also a former FYE student, and funny enough, Gustavo was my peer mentor when I was in FYE. So it's sort of crazy now to be, presenting alongside him. And it honestly has been so helpful for me because I remember that I went into Southwestern, being an undecided major. I was struggling so much with figuring out what I wanted to do in regards to my career. And, I bet if there are any of you out there who are undecided, you do feel the pressure because it's like everyone asks you, like, oh, what's your major? Like, what do you want to do? Like, your family, your friends, and you're like, I don't know. But honestly, FOE helped me out a lot, and especially taking that personal development class helped me a lot too, because you get to learn a lot about yourself. And especially when you're becoming a peer mentor, at least for me, working in this new environment, I got to learn a lot about how I can work with others, working in education, and I found out that it was something up my alley. So it really has made a big impact on me. And eventually, I decided that I would major in sociology. And I actually graduated from Olympian High School in 2020, rep the Olympian merch, yes. Um, and I'll actually be attending SDSU in the fall, so I'm really excited for that one. I'll be transferring as a social science major. And my goal is to get my bachelor's over there at SDSU and hopefully study abroad. I would love to study abroad in Europe, maybe England or Italy. That's one of my biggest dreams. And some of my hobbies, I love to sing. I was like in choir all throughout high school. It's honestly, music is one of my biggest passions. And even when I'm having a bad day, it's like you listen to like an upbeat song and it just completely change your mood. And then I'm also trying to learn how to play guitar. So that's been fun. It's been a little bit, difficult at times, but I find this super cool. Once you get like some chords down, you're like, oh my God, it's finally turning into a song. And then lastly, just trying out new restaurants, especially like Little Italy, one of my favorite spots here. I'm always going there to try new pastas or pizzas. I love it so much. So yeah, that was a little bit about me, but we'll go on to what do we do?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ellie. So what do we do? So what can you expect from being a peer mentor here in the FYE program? Awesome. So our duties. So first, we do train with the FYE coordinators. At the moment, the FYE program does have two coordinators. The first one is Mr. Gary Brown, who is with us today, as well as Estenia Vargas, who is the faculty counselor and coordinator for the program. We also do train with other mentors. So we do have about a 2-week training that we do during the summer before we actually start meeting with our students. We meet with all the other mentors. This could be mentors that are staying. These could be mentors that are brand new. There, at the moment, we have 9 mentors. When I first started, we had 10. So our group always is changing. And then also we do work about 15 hours a week for the fall semester. So you are required to work about 15 hours because that does include you visiting your personal development courses. If you are in the FYE program, then you do remember your peer mentors being in your PD courses. And then in the spring, we do work about 13 hours just because we don't have the PD courses. And then we do attend workshops and events. So us ourselves, the same way you all attend workshops and events for your requirements, the peer mentors are also expected to attend workshops and events just so we can be gaining knowledge what's going on here at Southwestern, or just any knowledge in general, whether that's a personal wellness workshop, EOPS workshop, tutoring. We attend those as well because we're students just like you all. We also attend events. So there are events that we do go to. We can attend the art gallery, any musical that's going on with the school. We also participate in the kickoff event. That's a big event for the FYE program because that is our onboarding for the school year. So we really enjoy going to that event just because that's when we're going to meet all the students, all the mentors, all the PD instructors. It is a great time. And then we also have our FYE celebration. That one is coming soon. That one I believe is May 12th. So if you haven't signed up for it, please sign up for it. That is great because we're going to celebrate our students finishing off their first year. For a student to finish off their first year is a huge accomplishment because that means that they are ready to take on their second year. And there are other events that we do as well. Lastly, like I told you all, we do collaborate with other peer mentors. So we are always collaborating with peer mentors and our team members. That includes morning meetings, Friday meetings. We have a group chat that we all talk to each other in case someone's like, hey, I don't know this question. Somebody else is there to help you. So you're always going to have that support from your team members. We really are a big family. And then we also attend two PD classes in the fall. Like I said to you all, that does include your 15 hours. And then you are going to connect with your mentees. So your mentees are a big part of what you do as a mentor. Perfect. Now I am going to pass it on to Victoria.
So not everybody can be a peer mentor. There are some qualifications that you do have to meet. For example, as a peer mentor, it's really good to not only do what we're saying, but also be a good example. So we're encouraging students to do their best, so we should too, right? So having a GPA of 3 or higher is great. It's best to be a full-time student. Of course, the program will work with your schedule. Also, having completed 24 units by the previous semester is a must. So if you're going to apply to be a part of FYE in the fall, by the end of this spring semester, you should have completed 24 units. It's also important that you transfer or graduate 2 years from your FYE start date, the job, not the program. It's more because you have goals too, and those shouldn't be ignored. And since we're interacting with others, we need to have public speaking skills. I have social anxiety along with a bunch of other anxieties, but because of the format and the training of FYE, it makes speaking and communicating properly easier. So it's less intimidating. So if it's already a skill for you, it's going to get better with FYE. I'm going to tag Ellie in next.
Yeah, so just adding on to those, you will be working both fall and spring. So it is like a 1-year commitment. And you need to have a declared major at Southwestern. So I think that's also going to help you too, just in deciding, what you want to do and getting on top of your goals. Also, just being sensitive to a diverse population because you'll be talking to lots of different students that come from all different backgrounds. And we just want to make sure that, we're inclusive of everyone. Also, super important having reliable internet and transportation because we are currently remote. So you will be online most of the time, even though for next year, things might change a little bit. We're still not too sure about that, but just having reliable internet, of course, so we're able to have those meetings smoothly, and also willing to talk and connect with students because that is what you'll be doing most of the time. you're talking and you're getting to know your students. And so just trying to make that connection with them and willing to, really try and get a conversation going. And lastly, just willing to work well with other peer mentors. And honestly, that's one of the nicest things about becoming a mentor too, like Gus and Victoria have said, that you're not in this alone. You always have people supporting you. If you ever feel confused, someone asks you something that you are not sure the answer of, there's always mentors that are there to help you with that. And we do most of our things like these meetings, seminars in group settings. So just willing to cooperate with everyone, being respectful of each other's, opinions, and just being able to work with them is a really important factor in it as well. So we'll pass it on to Gus.
Perfect. Thank you, Ellie. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Cranium Cafe. And if you are an FYE student, you know this platform as well. Us, the mentors, we use this platform heavily. So due to COVID-19, FYE was moved to an online platform as well as the rest of Southwestern College. So students do meet with FYE staff, mentors, and counselors on Cranium Cafe. The great thing about Cranium Cafe is that it gives an opportunity to have a safe and secure meeting for both college staff and for students. We are entering other people's homes. We never thought this would happen. I never thought that I would be meeting with one of my students in my bedroom. It's just not something that we thought. COVID-19 happened, a lot happened, and then we were moved remotely. So this is a great way for us to continue to meet with students, connect with students, and have secure meetings to make sure that everyone that is part of the meeting is safe. Victoria's gonna talk a little bit more about Cranium Cafe in our next slide.
There we go. So Cranium Cafe, like Gus mentioned, it is where we have our meetings with our mentees. We can make adjustments to our meetings through Cranium. We can add people. Usually it's very important for us to make sure that Gary and Yesenia are included within our meetings. So that way they can, join in. Like their purpose is to monitor us and make sure that we're on our best behavior. It's also to be noted that the meetings are recorded. Of course, everything is confidential. It is a safe space. And we do our best to make sure that it remains a safe space. However, it's monitored and recorded purely for, quality purposes and to make sure that everything's being handled correctly. And the only people that would ever see the recording are Gary and Yesenia. And so the information that's within that meeting stays confidential between the mentee and yourself, and occasionally Gary and Yesenia. The videos aren't posted anywhere, so they're kept very safe. Every morning we meet with Gary on Cranium or Zoom to cover how we are, what's new, any updates, covering the day and what we're planning on doing. It's a great way, honestly, to start your day. We also have a thing called bonding time on Cranium. It's fun and always a laugh. It's done as a group with your peer mentors. It's something when we see it on our schedule, we get a little excited about. We have our own lobby where students sometimes tend to pop up, and then we get to pull them into our video conference. However, we mainly use the FYE lobby, where we help Bianca, who works our front desk, to schedule meetings, answer questions, help the students get to where they need to go, which is also really cool because Cranium makes it convenient for you to reach out to the departments on campus, even to the point where, we can help transfer you to that department. So it's not too much clicking around. It's cool because if you need to talk to the financial aid department, they're there, they have a lobby, rather than waiting, sending an email, or, nowadays nobody really likes making a phone call, so you don't have to do that. You can just go and chat with them. Sometimes you can do it face to face, they'll have their cameras on, but majority of the time it's just messaging each other. Emails are a huge part of our positions. So it's how we reach out to students. It's how we reach out to other staff, how we reach out to other mentors. Cranium uses emails to send reminders to those that are in the meeting. so the mentor and the mentee, to keep them reminded that they have an appointment coming up. We also make sure during our meetings that we keep Gary up to date on what we're doing within Cranium. So we'll send Gary emails like, did they arrive? Do they need to reschedule? Is there an issue? Do we need any assistance or anything? We also make sure that we send the meeting link, the URL, if it does end up changing. So we use the email regularly in conjunction with Cranium. So that, that's a point to, keep in mind. I'm going to pass it to Gustavo.
Perfect. So now we're going to talk a little bit about our experience and what we have, how we have seen ourselves in these peer mentor positions. So let's have Victoria go first.
All right. FYE has been an amazing experience. Just recently, we were asked within one of our group meetings, what benefit has it brought us? And I was trying to think of which one I was going to talk about because there's been so many. It helped me become more confident in who I was. It helped me feel more confident in speaking to strangers. It was already kind of a thing that I was relatively good at, but now I don't, I'm not as hesitant anymore. It has been nice because you're surrounded by others who want to do their best, that want to strive and, learn and grow and not hold anybody back, and is all encouraging. So it's a nice space to be able to say that you're a part of. Also, I've been in a lot of, not a lot of, but I've been in a few jobs, and none of them have taught me as much as I've learned here within the FYE, how to, maintain professionalism in a kind atmosphere. It's genuinely rare to have such a safe work environment. So being able to have that has shown me, what a job is supposed to be like, and what is expected of me, and how I can contribute to keeping everything positive and safe. Pass to Ellie.
I was honestly gonna say something really similar to you, Victoria, because in my case, this is my first job. And so, of course, like when it's your first job, it's like it might feel a little bit scary because you don't know what to expect. And I feel before anyone has a job, they think like, oh my God, it's so intimidating, and you have your boss and your coworkers, and it's like, it is sort of a scary experience, but honestly, this work environment has been so warm, welcoming, friendly, and supportive, and it's the people that really make it worthwhile. Um, it's just been like an amazing experience, and it has also shown me like what I'm capable of doing, because a lot of the times we might think to ourselves like, oh, like I don't know if I can become a mentor, like I don't know if I'll be good at this. It's scary to lead meetings just like one-on-one, but honestly, once you're doing it, you tend to realize that you're capable of a lot more than you think that you are. And that's what this job has helped me realize. And also just in regards to my career, I got to see, hey, like I do like working in education. I do want to continue working here even after I transfer, because honestly 1 year for me wasn't enough. Like I love this job so much. And this just provided me with the foundation for my future, and just hopefully what I want to end up doing later on. So it has been a really wonderful experience that I would recommend to you all.
Awesome, Ellie. So I will close off with my experience. Like I told you all in my intro, I have been here for 4 years, 3 years as a peer mentor. I was one of the cohorts that we were in person, so I had meetings in person, and then the pandemic happened. We were trying to rebuild the program. We had no idea what was going to happen. How do you meet with students? How do you do online meetings? It was just a lot. But through it all, it's still one of the best decisions I have ever made. And if I can make that decision all over again, I would. Just this program in general has meant so much to me. Ellie, like she said, she was one of my students. I saw her enter, she was scared, and I saw so much potential in her. And it was just that relationship that you create with your students, those professional relationships. I see her, she became a peer mentor. She's about to graduate from Southwestern and enter SDSU. It's just such a blessing to see other people grow and the impact that we have on them. I know it may be like, well, you know, you're a student as well. What impact do you have on them? You're not a counselor, you're not a professor, you don't have a master's. But at the end of the day, we make an impact on those students and vice versa, because I've had students that have made impacts on me. Ellie's one of them. I've had other students that said, I graduated because you helped me, because you taught me this, because you showed me how to find things for myself. And just hearing those words, it really shows, it showed me that I'm on the right path and that this is my purpose. I've always wanted to work in the education field. I just didn't know how. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to be a teacher and I'm going to call it a day. But this program has made me grow so much in this professional environment. I absolutely love my job. I hope to stay and continue to grow here at Southwestern and give back to the community that has given so much to me. So being a peer mentor has definitely been one of the best decisions that I've ever made. And I think that Ellie and Victoria could say the same things for themselves. Perfect. Now I'm going to pass it on to Victoria.
I am in wholehearted agreement of Ellie and Gus. It's absolutely not a regret to have joined this. We love our jobs. We love what we do. And we've learned so much. In part of that, you know, kind of seems like it's a little too good to be true, but no, it is. It's an amazing opportunity. Part of how we benefit from it are workshops and retreats. So if we can jump to the next, there we go. We have peer mentor retreats where we continue to learn and to grow our skills. We practice things like communicating, effective listening, staying on top of our daily tasks. Sometimes that can be a little hard to remember the things we got to do, but it's all for our benefit. We have part of all of this is, you know, learning about ourselves and where we need to grow, what our strengths are, and where we could strengthen in certain areas. We even have special events like costume contests and end of semester lunches or meetups. That's been really, really cool. I can't imagine what they were like when everything was in person, and you know how crazy it could get without restrictions. But the last one we had last semester was really, really nice to be a part of. And like I mentioned before, we have these things called bonding days, and this is where we get to just enjoy each other's company. We can talk about our day, we can talk about our life, we can laugh because maybe we had a similar experience. We don't share information about our mentees or, you know, be like, oh, so-and-so did this. No, we don't do that. But, you know, we'll laugh and inadvertently brag about our mentees to each other sometimes. There's always, you know, chances for fun and for laughing and but still learning and getting closer. We have these things called seminars, very much like the one you're in right now. This is what would be considered a seminar. And it helps us grow in our leadership, our teamwork, and getting better at putting quality work out into, you know, our positions, into our I lost the word, but into our, you know, our records. So that way it can keep getting better as we continue. Depending on the topic, it can even be educational for us because we have to do research on what we're going to speak about. And maybe we didn't even think about a certain topic. It, like Gary says, it does help it does help peer mentors with presentation skills. We are able to have a slide and not read off of, you know, the slides, but instead use our own words to be able to get the message across. We do get chances to visit high schools and encourage people to attend college. Southwestern College in particular, and join the FYE. This program helps keep people moving towards their goals without getting overwhelmed or discouraged or even giving up completely. It isn't available for everyone, so we do what we can to help others get to their goals and maybe even encourage them to do what we do. I will tag Gus.
Perfect. I love that, Victoria. Thank you so much for that. So like we said, we love being peer mentors. So now we're just going to show you a couple pictures that we have. This was when I first started in 2019. We were still in person. All of these mentors that you see have all moved on to bigger and better things. Some are UC Berkeley, other nursing schools. It's so amazing. I still try to connect with all of these mentors that I first worked with. This was our retreat and then our kickoff event. Like I said, they have all transferred out to bigger and better things. We really are a big family, and we genuinely care about one another. So it is definitely a pleasure to be working with these people, with these students, and seeing their goals. So I'm going to pass it on to Ellie, and she can talk a little bit about this year.
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, things are a little bit different this year for us. Most of it was online, sadly, but we definitely made the best out of it. So, as you can tell, we've included some screenshots of some meetings that we've had. I believe the one on the right was, I think it was during the training actually. And so that was like sort of the first time us like getting to meet one another, at least virtually. So that was really exciting. And then the one on the left was the kickoff event, I believe, or the welcome back event. Yeah, one of those, but that one was super fun too. And then the one on the bottom, that was actually one of the first times that we all were able to get together in person at the end of the semester. We were all outside, so we were chilling, but it was just super nice getting to actually like meet everyone like face to face after we've been online for so long. So that was super fun, and I will go on. So Victoria can talk about the virtual meetings.
So our virtual meetings, it's, as you can see in these pictures, it's all of us together. We have our cameras on. As Gus mentioned earlier, when we are digital, we are essentially inviting people into our own homes. We are being invited into other people's homes. So when we are within our meeting, we're there and they're in our home. They're in our living room, in our bedroom, wherever we're stationed. They are full of fun and learning opportunities. And as you can see in the pictures, everybody has smiles. It is not something at all that where you need to fake a smile. It's all genuine. And honestly, like group meetings, like we'll have one on Fridays, some of the best times during the week. I don't know how many times these past couple of weeks that I've ended the meeting cracking up laughing still from our meetings. And it's not because like it gets crazy, but it's just we have a lot of fun together and we do learn. And even if it's, just a couple of us, it's still something to, be proud of and want to be a part of. We'll move on to our next section. Again, why be a peer mentor? What's in it for you? Why would you even want to do this job now that we've kind of explained it to you? So I'm going to pass it to Gus.
Perfect. So why do you want to become a peer mentor? I feel like one of the biggest reasons is because for student leadership and impact. So as a peer mentor, you are a role model of student success. I believe all the peer mentors that have gone to the program have transferred out. Like I said, they've gone to bigger and better things. We've had students in nursing programs. We've had students that have received high honors here at Southwestern College when they graduated. We are a model of success. We are also a pillar of leadership in the Southwestern College community district. We are held to a high standard. The way we walk around campus, the way we talk to other people, we are always representing not just the FYE program, but ourselves. And with that, we want to represent it in the highest standard that we can, because we truly care about the way this program looks and the way we represent it. We are changing lives for new students. These are new students that have never entered college. It's their first year. Many of them are scared. It's a lot for them. Southwestern College is a very big campus. And even though it is a community college, at times it can seem like a university just because of how big it is, all the departments we have, all the other campuses around the South Bay that are partnered with SWC. You are changing lives. You are talking to new students that have no idea what's going on. So with that, you want to try to help them as much as you can and lead them in the right direction so they can succeed in their educational journey. And then we also have much self-growth and professional development. So even ourselves, I have grown so much in the past 3 years in this professional environment. When I first started, it was very hard for me to speak in front of people. I could not talk. I was scared. I didn't know what kind of words to use. But now I feel like I could hold my own, and I could definitely see much growth in myself. I see much growth in the new mentors that just started this year. There is so much growth to go on to. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Ellie, and she'll talk a little bit more.
Yeah, so now we're going to talk more about, what makes a peer mentor. We believe that there are, about 4 different skills or qualities that we look for, one of them being a positive attitude. We always try and stay, positive and look on the bright side of things, because I know that, we all have obstacles that we might face in life, and so will your mentees. So we try and, keep it happy and try and, really uplift our students, as well as being respectful. We want to respect everyone because everyone is different. And, we want to treat them like we want to be treated ourselves, right? Also, just active listening skills. I think that's the one that is really important, because since you are in meetings with students most of the day, you do have to listen a lot. And I think that a lot of that goes along with, nonverbal cues, just like making sure that you're like nodding your head or just being like, yeah, like understand, just letting them know that like you're listening and you're paying attention to what they have to say, just letting them know that, their words matter and that we care about it. And also just using your past experiences wisely, because, for example, since I was a student at FYE, I use my experience in that because I'm able to tell students who were in my shoes, my own guidance or advice, or things that have worked for me, things that haven't worked for me. So just using those to your advantage and really trying to benefit your students, I think, is a really big thing as well. So we'll have Gus talk about the application.
Perfect. So today is your day to become a campus leader and apply for the first year experience program as well as the second year experience program. So as many mentors have been telling their students, and if you have not known, the school is creating a second year experience program. At the moment, it is still being worked on. It is brand new. It's a baby, the same way FYE first started 7, 8 years ago. It was brand new. There wasn't much information yet to be given. So at the moment, there is not much information on the second year experience, but promise you, it will be in your email soon. You're going to receive more information and at the end of the semester, towards the beginning of the summer. If you're in the FYE program, it's going to be a gentle pass off into that second year program to help you receive support throughout your second year. But if you do want to be a peer mentor, please feel free to apply. I'm going to enter the link in the chat. Look into it. See if it's something that you want to do. And if you're unsure, you're like, I just don't know if I'm good enough for this, try it out. Try it out. The worst case scenario is going to happen is, unfortunately, it's a no, but you tried. That's the best thing that you could do. So apply if you feel like this is something, if you want to help other people and you want to be a pillar here at Southwestern College and you want to just give back to your community, apply. It's a great experience, and you've heard it here first from the 3 of us. So yeah, and let's move on to Q&A. Does anybody have any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself in the chat. We'd love to hear from you all. If you have any questions, please feel free to let us know.
Yeah, girls. This is your time. If you have any concerns, don't be afraid to just unmute yourself.
I did have just a question about maybe if you recommend, like, maybe some people, even if they do want to do it, maybe it's not the best time for like time commitment, because I'd love to be a peer mentor, but like I am also working a job as well, like 15, 17 hours a week plus school. Like, do you think that would be too much of a time commitment to do that?
I think
I
I
can
can talk
answer
a
that.
little bit about this. Or Gary, do you want to talk a little bit about this?
Oh, go ahead, Goose, if you want to.
Perfect. I was gonna say, I totally understand having that time commitment. I myself do have a second job. I work at a restaurant. So I understand, sometimes the time just doesn't work together, or you feel like you may be too busy. I think for myself, just staying organized as much as possible using spreadsheets with my classes to make sure I'm staying updated. The best part about the FY program is that we run on the school schedule. So if the school is off for spring break, you're off for spring break. You have Saturdays and Sundays off. You get to kind of build your own schedule with the FYE coordinators. So like myself, I only work on Mondays and Wednesdays, but on Fridays, I do have to attend our Friday meeting, which is only about an hour and a half. So I know I have Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays off for myself, which equals school and my second job. So it really just depends on how well you can organize yourself, how much commitment you have towards it. Yeah, that's my biggest part. I think Gary did want to talk a little bit about it.
Hi, Rachel. So, just to sort of piggyback on what Gustavo was saying is that, typically we understand that our students are, our mentors are attending school. They have to, help with the bills, help, feed their families. But we also want you to focus on your education. And that is why we typically don't have a mentor working, 5 days a week. There have been certain instances where mentors might work more than two days a week or 3 days a week, but it's not working like an 8-hour shift. It might be working 4 or 5 hours because again, we want to ensure that you are, focusing on your studies on your days off and whatever other sort of personal things that you may have going on, such as other, jobs to, help, secure your financial needs. Typically what ends up happening is that we will put together a schedule and it will go out to those mentors that have the seniority. They will have first choice. And then after that, that will go out to the remainder of the peer mentors to decide which schedule best fits, their needs. And then we, hopefully we are able to, work with you on that. And sometimes there are instances where, maybe a Tuesday, Thursday shift, you might want to work, you might want to see if you can come in later or work a little bit later because, you have class or something along those lines. And it's just about having those discussions, like with me, to determine if we can be flexible, with those schedules. And typically we are. It's just that the ones that are, that we make, in advance is to really, specifically for the needs of being able to go to that personal development course in the fall semester, because you have to be embedded in that class so that, so that your students, get to know you. You might be helping the instructor that is facilitating that class. You might be helping them, just with certain exercises. As you're probably already aware, Rachel, when your peer mentor was in your class and things that they were doing, what their involvement was, presenting, certain things that were happening on campus, providing, you all with updates and things of that nature. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any last minute questions before we end the presentation? Right now is your time to speak up.
Hi, I was just wondering from the peer mentors experience, like since you're working or since you're like a student while you're being a peer mentor, how would you like choose your classes to like fit in with the schedule of being a peer mentor? Like what would you recommend for that?
I'll take that one. I'll take this one. Hi, Cheryl. So when it comes to choosing classes, obviously we take in mind what we've considered with our counselor and what is best for us. Like Gary said, there are schedules that are kind of rough drafted and sent out to the peer mentors. They do work with our classes. Honestly, pick what you need because it's your education and it's your goals. And then, you know, FYE kind of will come into as an extent and work with you. So you are not locked to only taking Monday and Wednesday classes. You are not locked to taking only Tuesday and Thursday classes. It's up to your necessity, your need, and what you want to accomplish that semester.
Cheryl, did we answer your question? Because I want to make sure that I understood it correctly. So was your question about how your classes are chosen based on your work schedule?
Yeah, like the time I should take classes, like yeah.
Okay, yeah. So so for example, you know, you're going to be following your student educational plan, which is something that you already have, right? Like your roadmap to what degree program that you're pursuing, which outlines what courses that you would be taking, right? And you have one of those, correct? An SCP?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So then based on, you know, if your schedule is a Monday, Wednesday, working from 8:30 to 4:30, you might want to consider taking courses that are on a Tuesday, Thursday, because you're off.
Okay, then yeah, thank you both of you.
Does
My
that make
question got answered.
okay, awesome.
It makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, I see Marissa put something in the chat.
Yeah.
So, she's asking, I saw that you need to have a major declared. So I was wondering if you still have the chance to change your major while being a peer mentor. I would love to be a peer mentor, but I'm not sure if right now is my time because I still feel undecided. So I believe you can change your major while being a mentor, right? Because you still have a major, but I know what you're going through because I pretty much barely chose my major like the beginning of my second year. So barely like the beginning of this job. So I still had like a little bit of time to think about what I wanted, but I think what I ended up doing was, you know, choosing a major and having my counselor basically make like a plan for me for all the different majors that I thought could work for me. And then I went from there and then I just found one, you know, but um, I believe you still can change your major while working as a mentor. That's totally fine. Yeah.
You might find even too that you come into this position with a declared major and then realize something about yourself in learning and through all the training and go, I would rather do this instead. And this is what I want to do. I believe, yeah, but still, you know, a chance.
Yeah. So just to kind of, you know, add some clarity is that the reason why we want our mentors to have a declared major would be for one thing, right? So that they are those role models that are, you know, representing, you know, and also, you know, have that trajectory of graduating, you know, within, you know, the following year or two, right? So when you have a declared major and you have a you know, you see mentees that are looking up to you, you know, you are, you know, letting them know how you are preparing, you know, to graduate. So that is why it's important to have a declared major. So, you know, if you decide that you are a psych major as your mentor, and then maybe perhaps later on, you know, after sort of, you know, thinking about, you know, what you are passionate about and you decide to change that, that's okay. But having a declared major from the start is really like the foundation that will allow not only yourself to sort of like figure out what what your educational goals are, but it will also help your mentees sort of identify with you, because they may have the same major and they may want to talk that, discuss those things with you as well. And that's how you end up bonding with your mentees.
Yeah, so I hope that answered your question, Marissa. Anyone have any last questions?
These are all great, amazing questions.
Yeah.
Things that maybe I wouldn't even thought of to ask. So I personally appreciate you guys asking them.
Perfect. Why don't we move on to the last slide?
Can you speak up, Goose? Thanks.
Sorry. Perfect. So if you do want to contact any of us, we do have Ellie's information on there, Victoria's information, and my information as well. Pretty much all the same email, only difference is the numbers. So Victoria is number 3, I'm number 12, and Ellie is number 7. So please feel free to email any of us, or you're more than welcome to email our program, which is swcfye@swccd.edu. We also have a working phone number. Our extension is 5625, as well as our Cranium Cafe lobby. And we also have an Instagram. Please feel free to take pictures of these slides.
Definitely, I would highly suggest go follow us on Instagram. We keep everything up to date. We post our links. It's best way to stay up to date and informed on the FYE program.
Yeah, definitely.
With that, we want to thank everybody